In a bright little ancient town full of noisy markets and nosy neighbors, there lived a man named Jonah. Professional napper, part-time complainer, and full-time avoider of responsibility. Jonah loved peace and quiet. He did not love surprises, which is unfortunate because one morning, he got the biggest surprise of his life. As Jonah reached for his breakfast, a giant voice thundered from the sky. "Jonah, I have a mission for you." Jonah froze mid-bite, eyes wide, crumbs everywhere.
So hot? So many people?
Could this wait until after I eat? But no. The mission was clear. Go to the huge city of Nineveh and tell the people to change their ways. Jonah instantly imagined a cartoon bubble of giant angry warriors chasing him with spears. He shook his head. Nope, nope, and for dramatic effect, nope. So Jonah did what any scared man with questionable decision-making skills would do. He ran. He packed a suitcase twice his size and got dragged down the street like a cat being forced toward bath time. He sneaked onto the first ship going in the opposite direction and sighed with relief. See? Problem solved. Except, the weather had other plans. Suddenly, the sky turned dark. The waves rose like skyscrapers. The ship shook so hard, Jonah bounced around the deck like a loose marble. Sailors screamed, ropes snapped, and Jonah clung to a pole yelling, "Okay, I get it, I messed up." The sailors cast lots to see who caused the chaos, and of course, it pointed at Jonah. He raised his hand like a guilty student caught cheating. "Yeah, that's on me." Jonah suggested they throw him into the sea. The sailors looked at him, looked at the storm, then looked back at him. Another lightning bolt struck. That settled it. They tossed Jonah overboard so fast he didn't even get to finish his dramatic goodbye. He hit the water with a splash, and everything went quiet. Then, gloop! Out of nowhere, a giant fish with big goofy Pixar eyes popped up and swallowed Jonah whole. Just like that. Inside the fish, Jonah slid around like he was inside a giant water balloon. Surprisingly, it wasn't as gross as you'd expect. Glowing jellyfish floated by like lamps. Seaweed hung like decorations, and the fish made funny noises every time Jonah tried to complain. For 3 long, slippery days, Jonah sat inside the fish, apologizing, praying, and reflecting on his poor life choices. Finally, the fish swam toward land, made the loudest gulping sound ever, and launched Jonah out like a cannonball straight onto a beach. Covered in sea slime and smelling like underwater disappointment, Jonah dragged himself into Nineveh. He gave the city one simple message. Change your ways. Please, before I end up back inside that fish. To Jonah's surprise, the people listened. The entire city changed, from the smallest kid to the king with a crown too big for his head. Jonah waited for some dramatic destruction, maybe fireworks, maybe thunder, anything. But nothing happened. Instead, God forgave the city. Jonah wasn't thrilled. He wanted a big finale. Instead, he sat outside the city, sulking under a leafy plant that magically grew to shade him. Jonah sighed dramatically like an offended actor. Finally, some peace. But the next day, the plant withered, and Jonah nearly fainted from the heat. He complained again, louder this time. And God gently reminded him that if Jonah cared this much about a plant he didn't grow, imagine how much God cared for thousands of people in Nineveh. Jonah blinked, thought about it, and finally cracked a smile. He walked back into the city, joining the noise, the laughter, and the people he once feared. And as he looked out at the ocean, the same giant fish jumped out of the water one last time, giving Jonah a big, goofy wink. Jonah laughed and said, "All right, next time, I'm going where you tell me."